this video, we're going to be talking about how to deal with difficult clients and some tips and tricks that I use while I'm out shooting, as well as going into Lightroom and talking about how I edited this shot.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Anna. I am a portrait photographer in the Chicagoland area. Pretty much just like everyone else, I'm still stuck at home and I don't really have that many clients to take photos of, so I decided to do a photo shoot with my family. And today is Easter weekend, so all of us were getting pretty much dressed up already, so I decided this was a perfect opportunity to take some photos. Since you're taking photos of your family, sometimes this can be very difficult, or they can be difficult clients, at least in my situation. So here are some tips that you can do in order to make sure that you have a stress-less experience with your difficult clients. So one of the things that I did in my situation is that I always ask the client what type of photos that they would like. So in my situation, I pretty much asked my mom what types of photos that she was interested in taking in, and I usually have some photos backed up on my phone as well in case we needed some extras or the specific pose that we were doing wasn't really working out for the types of clients that you're working with. One of the things that I want to say is when you're shooting with a difficult client, you can get very stressed, and even if you're not trying to show it, it will show. And one of the things that I recommend is just to have fun. Obviously this is a photo shoot, you're the photographer, you're kind of there in that situation to make them happy and make them satisfied with the product. So usually just cracking some jokes, making them feel very comfortable is the best way to do it. The last thing that I want to mention is always ask for permission when it comes to touching the client. Sometimes the shirt can be out of place or jewelry can look a little weird. So usually ask for permission before you start touching, because this can also become uncomfortable and really stressful. So it's just best to always ask for permission first. As always, the equipment that I was using today was the Canon 6D with an 85mm lens, along with the 80-200 Pro and a Neewer softbox. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. I will also be posting all of my social media, so please feel free to follow me on those as well. So now that that's all out of the way, let's go into the photo shoot and explain what I did there.
This is the photo that I selected to edit today, and this is what it looks like before, straight out of camera, and this is how it looks after. The couple of things that I want to mention that I did is I brought the shadows up. Obviously you can tell on her hair right here, it's very dark. So what I had done is I essentially just boosted up those shadows a little bit. And another thing that I want to mention is that straight out of camera shot looks very warm and very bright, and this kind of gives them a yellow look to their skin, which I don't think looks that well. So what I had done is I went onto the right hand side into the colors panel over here and made it a little bit cooler. I also wanted to bring the vibrance up because this is a spring shoot and this was a spring photo, so I wanted to make it look as green as possible. One of the tips that I want to mention is when it comes to whitening teeth. Now, as you can see, everyone has a natural yellow tint to their teeth when you are taking photos. So the best way to make teeth look white is going into the plus icon on the right hand side over here, tapping that little brush tool, and when you go into the colors, you're going to see that the opposite of yellow in the temperature is blue. So what you have to do is you have to draw over the teeth and basically combat the yellow that's happening in the teeth. So basically you draw over it, get the color temperature to exactly what you want, and then if you want to add an extra boost, go into the light panel and bring up the exposure. And the last thing that I want to mention is a cool trick that you can do. So what you do is when you tap on the plus icon, there's this thing that creates a circle in the middle. So right next to the brush tool on the right hand side is a little circle where you can essentially just create circles in the picture, and you can just have everything happen in that when it comes to editing and in the effects, everything happens on the inside of the circle. But what people mostly don't know is that on the left hand side over here, this little black and white tool is that you can actually reverse the effects. So instead of having all of the edits inside of the circle, you can actually have all the edits outside of the circle. So this can be really neat when you want to create your own vignette. So if we go into the right hand side over here and go into light, bring the exposure back down, you can see that everything is happening and darkening outside of the circle, and it's happening around them rather than on the inside. So when we reverse it, that exact effect is going to happen on the inside of the circle, and we have to tap it again, and you can see that everything has now been in and all of the effects have been happening on the outside.
And that concludes the end of this video. If you're interested in more photography related videos, I will have one of the videos over here for you to be able to figure out the tips and techniques that I use, as well as some travel videos that I have where you can explore the world with me and what I do in my free time. As always, feel free to check out my social medias, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to get notified every time I post a new video. Take care.